All right, everybody, Ethan here with Standing Stone, and we are back for step 3 of the trained retrieve process. This is going to be continuing to build hold, all right? We've done an introduction to that. We're comfortable up and down the table. We can say those in chronological order. We're comfortable moving up and down the table. We've built a start of hold. Now we're ready to build on that. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. We've got Trix. We're going to start this session again with a very quick, hey, let's move up and down the table. Good girl. Come on. There you go. Nice work. And we will move into a refresher wrap here. We want to do our fingers. Good. Instantly, really, really good. If your dog is doing this, you're ready to continue on. That would be to a buck. This is what we did in her last session. At the very end of it, we did a few reps. Good. She did a very nice job with this. So now, how do we continue to progress? Keep saying small steps, but what do those small steps look like from here? We're going to stay with the same object until we get really good at holding. And I'm going to show you what little things you can do to continue to build. Key being here, don't try and take too big of a step, too big of a bite. It will come back to bite you, all right? We've got a hold here, and then give it just a little bit. Good. Don't try and get too greedy. We're building a little bit. You saw me get my hands away a little bit. I'm going to try and build a little bit more on this, which is going to involve my body. We're going to test until we find what the threshold is, a little bit at a time, and then we'll stay underneath of that, all right? And by threshold, I mean where is she going to start spitting or trying to get rid of it? Good. Okay, now the next thing is, I mentioned before we haven't used a cue yet. This is going to be the part where we can start to introduce it. That is enough of an understanding of holding something in my mouth. I get you put this here, I'm not supposed to let go of it. That's when we can start to introduce a cue. Get everything out of the way here. What is she doing now? Hold. Hold. Good. Next thing you need to be doing, and this is all the way across your dog training adventures, okay? Anticipating, being honest about what's happening. Dogs are super good at anticipating things. I go to reach for her or come back and she goes to spit it. You need to be, even if you were getting ready to release and take it from her, you need to be aware. Did I take it from her and release her, or did she spit it? Which happened first? If you're thinking those things, you probably already know the answer. She spit before you were ready, and you need to just plop it back in her mouth, hold. But be aware. Hold. Hold. A little more freedom here. Hold. Good. Okay, that's really, really good. Another great session for her. She's doing a fantastic job. Some of these things play in with age. We talked about this before. She is around 2. She's a really good natural retriever, and she's mentally prepared for advanced stuff. Don't be starting this with really young puppies, or you're going to fight a lot of things. There are baby steps to do along the way. We show that in our online course. We show some of the basics of what we do with puppies and how to encourage good natural retrievers. So definitely be checking that out at standingstonesupply.com. And if you are struggling and your dog's not following along with this exactly as you go, patreon.com/standingstonekennels. That's where we give you out-of-the-box help, or specifically geared toward your box help, okay? Let's move to the next dog. That'll be the end of her session. Back with Shock, our super busybody, but very enthusiastic. Pup. She doesn't need much of a warm-up here, right? If we were struggling with that, we would spend just a second more time on it. We'll move right into a brief refresher of our hold work. She fought this just a smidgen, but moved pretty quickly. Good. One more wrap here. Good. That looks really good. We'll move on to this guy. And then we're going to try and build just like we did with Trix. I don't know if we'll get quite as far. Good. That was good. It was good progress. What I'm seeing so far is we're definitely not going to get to the same spot that we did with Trix, where I was able to step back and take a little bit here. Instantly trying to kind of let this roll out. Even really strong natural retrievers, you start doing these type of drills, good, and they're like, this isn't my game. This isn't the thing that I run out and chase and pick it up. This is a non-moving object. It's just something, and we're just working through the structure of the retrieving process. Good. Anything at all, mouthing, rolling, you see anything pop up, don't let it slip, correct it. It's not a lot. This is a conditioning process. I've mentioned that, okay? It's going to take reps, but we need good reps in order to get better. She's doing a lot of just little baby. I don't know how well you can see that. No. Good, much better. She's doing a lot of little baby, just little baby crunches. All of those things, they will explode later. That little crunch is very, what is the word I'm looking for? It's very rewarding, and it's very fun to do with a bird because they crunch and they squeak and they're softer. So if you have a dog that's doing just a little bit now, it's going to be really bad later. So we have to just pay attention to it and work through it by not allowing it to slide. No. Good. That's really, really good, Pop. That's really, really good. Most mentally strong dog probably that we have here, though not moving quite the fastest, just Good. She gives me this little, are you gonna let me release it yet? Good job. That's what we'll call that session. We've built off of that. She's gonna need a couple more to catch up with where Trix is at. Easy now, sister. She's gonna need a couple more sessions to catch up with where Trix is at, but they're gonna look like this and we're gonna continue to build. All right, we are here with Clay. We're gonna start with a little intro again, a little warm up, I mean. Come on. Now, one of the things that we recommend to all dog trainers is to video training sessions. It's going to be a really good way for you to be honest with yourself about what's happening, and then when you hit those weird moments or things aren't going quite right, you can send them on to me. He seems very comfortable. He's doing a good job. We're going to move right into the refresher with the hold work. He struggled with some distractions last time. Good. That's a really good rep. Really good hold. Good. Really, really good. We're ready to move on to this guy. So this will be the first time for him here. Good. And he's doing really well with that. This guy right here is probably one of the most natural, just even keel retrievers. If you've gone back and watched any of or followed along with any of Clay's videos, you saw it took a smidgen to develop that, but once we got there, I mean, spot on. Just a really, really good retriever. And this whole fall, he's done a bunch of hunting and he's done a really nice job retrieving birds. Good. While we've been hunting in South Dakota, as well as now we're ready to start hunting Kansas because that's open. Yeah. You heard it, okay? You heard it. Can we work on anything else outside of this? Now, in my previous series, we've talked about the fact that we don't do anything outside of this table work when it comes to retrieving. We change and evolve and get better or different about things, and I think that my thinking with that and projection of that is the average person that's working through formal retrieving work with their dog is working with a dog that struggles with retrieving. You're trying to make them better. I have 5 dogs here. They're all really good retrievers. So continuing outside of this, 100% fine. If you have a dog that's a really good retriever and you're trying to build in the next step for more advanced things like we mentioned at the beginning of the series, it's going to be okay for you to continue on training and doing everything else. You just can't expect hold or fetch or any of those things to be applied until it's completely done through the process. Now, if you have a dog that's struggling and you're going backwards in a sense of they aren't picking up birds, or they're really sloppy, or they're chewing, or they're really hard mouthed, those are the dogs that you really want to cut out retrieving outside of this until it's fixed. Otherwise, you'd be fighting it a lot, which is going to drag the whole process out. So do another couple reps. Good. Now this, moving into the category of what I would say is an understanding of hold. He's moving quickly, but we need to move as fast as he's willing to while still having an understanding. Hold. Hold. Good. Nice job. That's a great push for him as far as progress goes without asking too much. All right, off the table. All right, baby girl. Okay. Let's get started off here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Body language again. Cueing a lot off of me. Need to separate. Build some separation here. Noise. Come on. There's a big boy. We don't use big treats like that very often because they can be distracting to the process, slow things down. But if they're extra enticing and that's beneficial, use them. Bingo. That helped, right? Make an adjustment. That allowed her to, she was like, that's kind of a better than dog food treat. I'm going to move more towards that. It's also bigger, a little easier to see. Good warm up for her. Let's move right into, there you go, babe. Couple holds here. She did a really nice job with this. Good. Nice job. Here, sit back down. Ooh, Good. Very gentle holding. I expect that we'll see a little bit of this down the road where it's going to be like, oh, this is too heavy, and a little bit of a lack of try there. So we're going to have to encourage a little bit in that department. But at this point, it's relating just strictly into Good. Really nice holds. All of that is acceptable. We'll move on to this guy like we did. Good. Really easy. Come on. There you go. She says, I know I can't go anywhere. I'm not dumb. Good. Really, really good. Really, really good. Let's see here. Nice hold on that. It's not wiggling around. Good. Bigger asks, okay? Hold. 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 Good girl. It's a great session. We need to keep hers extra super special short because you can see just a little bit of lack of enthusiasm. She's not going to be the one I'm going to try and push a little bit more. Let's grab the last dog here. All right, back with Doc. Brief warm-up. These little walk up and downs pretty much go away as we get down through the process, unless the dogs really need it. If your dog's still struggling, kind of feeling 100% comfortable, but you feel like I've been at it too long, definitely reach out. Patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels. We'll give you some advice. I'll let you know, yeah, go ahead and move on, or you really need to get better at this and we need to get creative in order to be able to help. Good. Instantly, holding nicely, Calmly, no tonguing, no rolling, no mouthing, nothing. Good. And he was doing a little bit of tonguing in the beginning sessions here. Good. Onto the bumper, onto the buck. I don't know why it's called a buck. Good. That's nice. He's the one that's I gotta kind of pull it out of his mouth because he's already wanting to hold it more. He wants this there. Bigger ask. Good. Head movement is a key indicator that something's about to happen most of the time. So if you've got a dog that's holding it and they start to drop their head, most likely they're going to drop the bumper. So stop it midway, prevent that from happening, build off of the right thing rather than having to just correct the wrong thing. Try and avoid the wrong thing so that you can build off of the right thing. That's our goals with this here. The wrong things are going to happen enough on their own. If we can prevent some of them, I feel like we move faster. Hold. 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 Good. Really, really good. Still holding on to it. That's awesome. We're going to do one more here, then we'll call this. Making huge progress, Doc. Hold. 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 Good. Nice job. Okay. All of these dogs are moving at similar paces, but slightly different paths. Like I said, they all kind of go through this differently. We are doing really well, though. I think all in all, you're going to see some really cool stuff as you follow along with the series. That is what continued hold work looks like. Once we're 100% solid with just this object, which we're pretty close with most of these guys, then we'll start asking different objects, and that's where stuff gets really exciting. I'm the guy with the pink gun. We'll see you in the next video.